Many of you over the last 48 hours wrote to me about some very particular statements made by former 60 Minutes journalist Lara Logan that are, quite frankly, utterly deranged. Now, I don't know how many in the audience know the trajectory of Lara Logan, but Lara Logan was at one point sort of a respectable journalist, and she has increasingly gone down the conspiracy rabbit hole. Over the last year, we've talked about her anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, anti-vaccine conspiracy theories, COVID, medical disinformation, just a sort of all of the above type thing. I don't know whether this is a character she's playing or whether she really is off the rails, but I am going to show you a couple of clips of what happens when you really are infected by proverbial brain worms. Lara Logan was interviewed by Newsmax 2 days ago, and she claims to have spoken to a man who infiltrated the global cabal at the UN. Even she seems confused by what she's claiming. It is very scary stuff. I would get the kids out of the room for this one.
But you know what? It's even bigger than that, because I spoke to a man who was actually holding the documents in his hand. He told me about it, right? He said he infiltrated the global cabal at the UN level, right? And one of the things that he was able to tell me about from his own personal experience, what he witnessed himself, was these documents that show that there is a plan. And this was several years ago, right? The plan was to infiltrate 100 million illegal immigrants. And at that point, they were already at 40 million.
Now, think about how insane this is. Infiltrate 100 million undocumented immigrants to the United States, a third of the U.S. population. I mean, it does. No matter what state you live in, this doesn't even pass the sniff test. Just think about what that would mean in terms of our daily lives. It's not even remotely plausible.
And these people would dilute what they called the pool of patriots. Those were their words, right?
Yeah. Now that's great replacement stuff. We've talked about that for a while. That's the idea of a concerted plan by Democrats to replace white people with non-white people in order to control this, that, and this is Tucker Carlson stuff, but just with slightly less eloquent language.
And they would not be taught that America is a great country and trained to sing the national anthem with pride. And
they wouldn't be trained to sing the national anthem. Think about that language. We train people to sing the national anthem with pride. Sounds pretty authoritarian, fascistic.
So on and so on. They would be taught all the negative things that we're taught about the U.S. today that our own children are taught. And what would be the effect of diluting the pool of patriots? Well, it would be to break down this sense of pride in being American and what it means to be American.
Yeah, really, really scary stuff. And to think that just, I don't know, what was it, a decade ago? She really was a pretty respectable journalist doing pretty respectable journalism. She also, you know, it's not just anti-science, it's not just conspiracies, but it's also this pseudo-religious stuff where she's not necessarily saying that these are her Christian beliefs, but she's talking about Satan as if Satan is a sort of conscious actor with agency. Listen to this bonkers stuff.
It's right out of the playbook. They're right out of the socialist playbook. You divide and conquer. You don't tell them your intent. You get people to come in. You got your useful idiots, those of us who are paying for these people to have all these luxuries, and they lie about it. Yeah. How does it end?
Well, badly. It ends badly for some. Okay, so on a serious note, people of all faiths have said to me that this is a spiritual battle. I am a firm and solid and immovable believer in God.
Now, understand that. What do you mean? You're saying the Muslims came to you and that this is a spiritual battle against immigrants who are mostly religious also? The Jews came to you, the Buddhists, everybody's coming to you saying, Lara, these are really battles of faith against The immigrants? What the hell are you talking about?
And I believe that God wins. I believe that good is greater than evil. And I believe that the fallen angel, otherwise known as Satan, doesn't get to prevail in this world.
Wow.
So if you follow the Bible, or if you follow the Quran, or you follow the Book of Mormon, you know, people talk in various different ways about the end times. And if you fight for God,
the end times, guys, the end times.
God will fight for you. But people, humanity.
Final thought, Lara. Final thought, though. I have to ask you this, because my audience is very God-fearing, God-loving, etc. Yeah. Final thought. Only a couple of seconds, please. Is God okay with a closed border?
It's much bigger than that. God believes that in sovereignty and national identity and the sanctity of family and all the things that we've lived with from the beginning.
God also has chosen Ford over Chevy. He's really weighing in on every issue.
Of time. And he knows that the open border is Satan's way of taking control of the world through all of these people who are his stooges and his servants. And they may think that they're going to become gods. That's what they tell us. Yuval Noah Harari and all the rest of them at the World Economic Forum. You know, the ones who want us eating insects, cockroaches, and that while they dine on the blood of children. Yeah. Those are the people, right? They're not.
I love how Eric Balling is like, right. She goes, you know, the ones that want us eating the insects and the cockroaches and dining on the blood of children. Right. Right. Who's sicker? The person saying this stuff, the host taking it seriously, or the audience members who believe it? I don't have the answer, but they're all pretty sick in my book. I want to tell you about something I use every day because it simplifies my life. I don't have hours to mathematically plan every meal or take multiple different supplements and vitamins to make sure I'm getting exactly what I want to get every single day. And the solution is our sponsor, Athletic Greens product AG1. I've been taking AG1 for over a year. It's just great. It's just one small scoop of AG1 in the morning. I get 75 vitamins, minerals, probiotic, all from whole food sources. It's what I want. It's no more. It's no less. It's no extraneous stuff making wild claims. I drink it straight with water because I like the taste. You can put it in a smoothie or juice or a shake. It's just simple. AG1 is a sustainable routine because it's just one scoop in the morning, takes 1 minute once a day. I know I'm covered and getting what I want. I can really be sure that I am properly nourishing my body with the things I'm trying to get. That's the most important part. Athletic Greens knows I'm a vitamin D guy. I've talked about in the winter, I take vitamin D to make up for the lack of sun exposure. I take that every day as well. I've mentioned it on the show. And so Athletic Greens is giving you a free year of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase when you go to athleticgreens.com/Pacman. The link is down below.